All right, we are in the car heading back home from here for Huntington's. We're going to be recording a few Hel Talks. It's me, Matt, we got Miguel, my guy in the chair in the passenger seat. You don't want to say anything, Miguel? Miguel doesn't want to talk right now.
I'm just listening, man. I'm just listening.
He just wants to listen to me talk for 8 fucking hours on the whole drive home. All right, here we go. We are just going to try to break these into sections, whatever. We're going to do it by day of the Hero Confronting's event. So day one, Wednesday night, was the Tracy Brock Memorial event, which was a sealed event in which it was 3v3 team sealed event in which every player was playing a different format, which I thought was a little interesting. And we can talk a little bit about the challenges that H units sometimes throws our way when it comes to 3v3 events, and the impact that it had on that event as well. But I was player A, since I was the one who registered our team. Our third was Lucas from HeroClix headquarters. So shout out to him. Thanks for being our third for not only that event, but another event a few days later. My format was 2 packs of explosion. So it was advertised the last sealed explosion event of all time. And the only special criteria that they threw in was that effectively pushing damage was back. So if you received a second action token for any reason and you did not have willpower, then you took an unavoidable damage after resolution. So as you can imagine, it was a different style of HeroClix. Nothing like how you play a current 300 modern game, or even 300 sealed. But you may hear Google give us directions slightly in the background as we travel, but that's going to be something we're going to deal with. I don't know, Miguel. You were player B. Why don't you say what your format was?
The format, I think it was building. Was it 300? I think it was 300.
No, it was not 300.
Oh, so I can't fucking remember, bro. It was a long week. So it was 400 points.
No, it wasn't 400 points.
No, it wasn't.
It was 500.
It was 500 points.
500.
Oh my fuck!
Is that why you lost all week? Because you were playing 300 or 400 points. You were 100 points down.
Yeah, I probably fucking underbuilt.
Oh my god! No, I don't think.
It was the you get a random booster, then you get a random I think it's like a starter set. It's like, well, you get like random shit in a black bag, the shit that they can't sell, and then you got like a random common you got 30 seconds to pick a random. Was it common? I think that's what it was. Common, I don't know, something in a box. And yeah, you built 500-point team from that, I guess. Cause yeah, you remember more than I do. But yeah, that was my experience. I think I had an actual game versus the other two. Yeah, nothing really crazy from there, man. I mean, it wasn't great though. It wasn't great. But I think Lucas had
had a format similar to mine, where he had 300 points, and his packs were the first 2 sets of HeroClix, I believe. I think it was Infinity Challenge, and I think it was the first 2 sets. I don't know I can't remember if it was 2 Infinity Challenge or one Infinity Challenge and something else.
I thought it was Infinity Challenge and Hyper Time.
It might that sounds right. Yeah,
I think it was that, yeah. And then like if you pulled underbuilt, then you could get a free pack. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, they said that I think they said they only wrote the special rules for that for player C, but they said that they would enforce it for in my games as well, but then they ran out of product and then they couldn't. But basically, they tried to help players to say, hey, if you use every character in both of your packs and it's still less than 300, they'll give you another pack to try to fill in some points. I have no idea what Lucas played. Absolutely no idea. Did you see any of the pieces that he opened? I have no idea.
They were crap, bro.
They're old. Everything's crap. Everything's crap. But I don't know. Don't know what he opened. The only thing that stood out really on my team was that I had a rookie Iron Man with running shot, move and attack, which was very often the only character on the map, including my opponent's characters, that had a move and attack. So that generally was the reason why I won more. I believe I won more games than I lost. I think I went three.
I think you won more games.
3-1. I think maybe no. I lost 2 games. I went 2-2. I believe I lost.
Oh yeah. You went 2-2.
Yeah, because I lost against Scott Porter because he had the same team, almost the same team as me, but better. He had the veteran Iron Man. We both had the veteran Destiny for Prob. We both.
He pulled the nuts, man. I'm like, I never seen so many veteran figures being pulled, and I was like, I mean, this has got to be stacked. There's no way. Like, because we were talking about, like, you pull like the veteran Iron Man, you run, you basically win at that point.
Yeah. He was, he was humble and saying, "Oh, there are things in the set. There are stuff that can beat me. There's things without wit." But when you are almost guaranteeing with Iron Man, you're almost guaranteeing yourself to get the first attack. You have one of the higher attacks in the set. You can very more often than not, when you hit somebody without wit, they will lose outwit, and then you don't really have any problems anymore after that. So and then the other game I lost was against a stealth team where I think he had like one character that didn't have stealth, and he put it in the center of all of his stealth characters. So I was like, oh, I got to energy explosion that. And it was funny because this was John Burgess. He made a joke when he's like, oh, I'm going to end my turn. And he goes, and go ahead, you can energy explosion. And I was like, all right, that's what I'm going to do. And he goes, wait, you actually have energy explosion? I said, yeah. And he goes, oh, I was just joking. He's like, oh, damn, I just lost. And I needed to roll, I think it was like 6s or better because my totally super powerful Iron Man has a printed 8 attack. So that combined with ranged combat expert and the Avengers team ability brought me up to a whopping double-digit 10 attack value, and I had to hit 16 defense. And of course, I had 2 attempts at doing so. Because of the probability control with Destiny, I missed both of those 6 or betters, and both of us for my first two rounds, I believe I forgot about charity props. Me and my opponent, both of us, me and my opponent, forgot to use charity props because if I had remembered, you better god dang believe I would have used all 5 charity props on that energy explosion attack, but I forgot to use them. I think the only game that I remembered to use them was my final game against Scott Crampton, and that's because he used them against me, and I went, oh wait, charity props exist. I should probably use them. So I kind of, you could argue that I threw a game by not using charity props, but there was like I said, there was definitely only one game that I would have absolutely always have lost, and that was against Scott Porter because he just pulled the nuts. So that was my experience over the course of that day. I don't know, Miguel, how did you do?
Well, I can't fucking remember, but it says I went 3-1, but I don't think that's right. But
I think that's right. Like I said, Miguel said he pulls crap, but he pulls crap that's better than the other crap that other people pull.
And I can't really remember most of the games, but my record was 3-1. I don't know. It just like it feels like it. I don't know. I'm not big on like playing the old shit, dude. Because like some of the stuff, I'm like, what the fuck does this do? And I mean, it's mostly just like I think the one thing that stood out to me was the that 30 seconds picking a fucking figure, man. I was like, yeah, so because someone pulled the Doctor Strange. I didn't know that was in there. I would have just grabbed that.
What
shit.
Doctor Strange?
The one that gives you mystics, or if you got with perplex and
the common Doctor Strange.
Yeah, common Doctor
Strange Tales.
Strange Tales.
Okay.
And I'm thinking like, man, maybe there's a fucking Dormammu at the bottom of the fucking box.
But, well, yeah, that would have been a pretty auto win figure.
That would have been an auto win figure for sure. But yeah, I played with those fucking the bobble, not the bobble figures, but those tall, goofy looking
fucking app figures.
Yeah,
that look like bobbleheads.
Yeah, those were fucking goofy as shit. And I pulled Waldo, which I'm like, man, we were guessing the whole time. We're like, it's probably Glob Herman.
Yeah, your pack of House of X was our random
pack,
more modern pack. We got a super rare, which was 40 points, right? Which basically a super rare that gave you perplex and passenger 4.
And what was
and a support bystander.
That was
which I think in that format. I think that's probably what helped you out the most.
Yeah, it was support because there was times that they would hit me, and it's like, well, I don't really care. I'll just heal it back up. And having a 20 defense at range, with the little fucking bystander, and even the Waldo being 19, it helped out a lot because there's not many figures that do like a lot of amount of damage. But I don't know. I feel like these boosters were like loose as fuck in the sense that like the chase has been pulled from that specific set, so we're like, we're just gonna throw the rest of the shit that is irrelevant, or just sits in the.
Oh yeah.
Because I didn't see anybody pull a chase, and I was like, yeah, that would have been the deciding factor, I think, in that event. But yeah, and so that's kind of how my game's kind of I mean, we scored, a lot. I mean, we scored what 24, 2,400. That's pretty good. And then Lucas just won 1 and 3, which, oh well, that's what happened.
So we had spectacularly average records. So we all going 3 and 1. I go 2 and 2, and Lucas went 1 and 3. So we all evened out the seesaw. But as I mentioned before, the HC units errors / glitch, whatever you want to call it. So occasionally, and for reasons unknown, maybe to even Clay, but hopefully he's figuring out and fixing it as we speak, perhaps. No, I don't know, but we'll see. Hopefully it gets rectified. It's when you are running 3v3 events and registering for them and signing up from the player side. You assign, or really the player who's player A who registers is automatically, the player registers is automatically A, and then that player assigns who player B and player C are. But basically, the 3 players will be able to decide which which side of the bracket, if you want to call it that, to play in. And sometimes when you begin that event and you press seat players, and you say click begin the round, HC unit says, you know what, those labels that you gave each other, A, B, and C, I don't like those choices. I'm gonna swap them around. And how it swaps them around and how whatever it seems random, but it's consistently random. And what I mean by that is that we don't know who's going to get swapped to who. For example, for our case, it swapped Lucas and Miguel. So Miguel, I guess it was our B player, but when it matched him up, it put him in the C slot. So, but it did that every single round. So it was consistently random. Very oxymoronic.
I think, like what you said, the fix for it, and I think this is probably like what the best way, like you said, it was do like a regular event, right? Where the leader being like, for example, you were the A slot. All right, So this is the match that you place, right? So then, okay, whoever's B sits right here behind this guy, and then whoever's C sits all the way over there, and then you fix that whole fucking pairing bullshit and go from there.
Yeah. So, well, the issue with, I think,
well, I know it's the points issue, but yeah, no.
Yeah, it's like the issue with that, the typical, like a typical sealed event, everybody's playing the same format. So if you do get swapped, so if my letter changes from uh, from A to B, and it's going to stay B the entire event, I just go, okay, I'm player B now. The HC units guys have decided that I am player B. That's it. And you just play as player B the whole day. The problem with that for this event is you couldn't do that unless I swapped teams, unless I just said, okay, Miguel, you built that team. I'm playing that team, all day, in order to,
Oh, I see.
But again, the judge staff, I think, should have said that. It may have not have been entirely obvious, and it would have been probably a little disappointing, because I think some people chose their letter based on the format, because they gave us the paper sheet and they said, here's all the formats. And I think there may have been some players that say, you know what, I don't want to play Explosion, but I'll play Infinity Challenge and Hyper Time because I don't want to do anything with pushing damage, right? So if Ace units all of a sudden said, oh, you want to be player C? Actually, you're player A. You would be like, no, I don't want to do that. That's why I decided not to be player A. I'm going to stick and keep playing my player C team. So again, as a solution to that, they just said, hey, you're going to play your game, whatever game it tells you, you're going to play, but the results of the player B quote unquote game, so that format, the 500 v 500 format, you are going to put that into the player B slots, even though the names of those slots don't match up. So that may be why, Miguel, like when it says you said I have 3 and 1, it may be because Lucas went 3 and 1 and you went 1 and 3. Is that maybe the case? Because you had to report the other person's score.
That's probably the case, because I was like, to me, that doesn't sound right, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Most of the stuff just got switched around, but I can see that being the case. We got more modernized figures that could do more stuff. I can see that being the case. It's been a long week, so.
Again, so yeah, all right. Quality commentary from Miguel. It's been a long week. I don't remember. Why are we recording if you don't remember anything? But yeah, like I said, overall, it was, I believe, this was our first Heroes for Huntington's, but I believe they also said that this Wednesday event typically didn't exist. I think they said it's the first time they expanded the weekend out into Wednesday.
Yeah, because I thought it was always. Oh, you know what? Because I think it used to be on Thursday. Yeah, because duels never existed.
Yeah, duels was a new event.
That was a new event. That's why they extended to Wednesday. Yep, you're 100% right.
So, but I think, in my experience, I think the way that it, it's very I don't want to, I don't know how to say this, but like it worked out for us. I think the Wednesday event worked out for us because we drove to the location in Nashville. We drove to Nashville. I'm coming from Northwest Chicago suburbs. Miguel from the South suburbs. Basically, by the time we arrived there, so we left in the morning, Wednesday morning. By the time we arrived there, it was kind of like just in time to get settled in, and then the event started. You know what I mean? I feel like there was it's not like we were getting there and then waiting 6 hours.
There's like little room to breathe, basically.
Yeah. So I think that again it worked out, where so there's not a lot of downtime. But yeah, the HC units error and that's whole having to re-explain how to enter scoring kind of debacle every round did delay things a lot. We were,
I think that's what I didn't like. It's the fucking delay, man. It was the waiting 2 hours. That was my biggest gripe about it. I'm like, why are we waiting 2 hours? Like,
yeah. So
it just takes, and that's why going into every day. Obviously we'll talk about it, but it was the delay. I think that's what I hated. Was the delay. Like by lunchtime, what was it? 6 o'clock. Like
it was like 5 p.m.
Yeah, 5 p.m. I was like, what are we doing?
So it kind of, it's ironic that I just said like we get there this little downtime for the event to start. You know, because like they said, event starts at 7 p.m. By the time we're playing round one, I think it's almost 9 p.m. Or
Yeah.
I know it's past 8. And I was like, we're like, when are we gonna start?
It's like it was like I think like 8:30, 8:45.
Because by the time like 7 p.m. they started, that's when Crampton like was like doing his announcements, saying all the stuff. Then people start getting their packs. By the time everybody gets their packs, it's well past 7:30, 7:45. And then by the time everyone's done building, it's past 8. And then by the time they realize, oh, everyone's getting swapped around and, you know, the pairings are mixed up. I think it's like almost 9. I can't remember exactly how long the event ran because, of course, our team did not make Top Cut, but we didn't have to make Top Cut. There was 24 teams, and all we had to do was get into the top 20 to earn a fellowship participation prize. And I mean that literally, the fellowship one-shot card, which you are going to see a lot of, I believe, because of the existence, especially of Bloodstone and other effects and healing for the opponent's characters. The I don't know, Miguel. I know you say you don't remember anything, but do you remember what the Fellowship one shot does?
I don't know. All I remember it was holographic.
Make your best guess, and I'll tell you if you're right.
Isn't it like where at the beginning you flip it, you heal two your guys, and your opponent heals one of your other guys?
And how much do you heal them?
I thought it was one and one, and then the other guy heals one. Maybe that's wrong.
No, that's a little bit wrong. Yeah. So you roll a d6.
Okay, so there you go. I thought it was just 1 and 1.
You heal 2 characters equal on your force equal to half the result. And then your opponent chooses 1 character on their force to heal the same amount.
See, the part of the thing is you got to learn how to read, right?
How many points is it, Miguel? You know this.
Fuck, it should be 5, I think.
It is 5 points. So
I feel like it's like the Price is Right.
It has a potential to heal 2 characters on your force on your team, 3 clicks each. Then of course your opponent has a chance to heal one of their characters 3 clicks. But like I said, you know, more often than not, you have Bloodstone, it'll reduce that amount. If you do end up healing only 1 click, then your opponent doesn't heal at all if you have Bloodstone. Or the best case scenario is your opponent just alpha striked you. None of their characters are damaged. You flip Fellowship. You heal the characters that just got hit from the alpha strike if they're still alive, and all of your opponent's characters are on top click because you haven't attacked them yet. So you only heal, they don't. Shake my hand, Fellowship. That's the gist of the Fellowship one shot card is that it is clearly intended for to say I heal a little bit more than you. It's kind of like a consolation prize to the opponent, but in reality, every time that one shot will be used, it's I heal, you don't. And again, I say shake my hand because the picture in the Fellowship one shot card is of people. I guess it says shaking hands. They're not really shaking hands. They're holding each other's like wrists. I think it's like if you're like helping somebody up.
Yeah, or you're falling down.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're on the ground, you're gonna help somebody up. You're gonna like grab on like just on their wrist behind their hand. So either way, it's a weird handshake.
How many did we get in total? I think
over the whole weekend. I have no idea. I have no idea how many Fellowship cards I got.
So I think I have 4. I think I have 4. I can't remember, but yeah. It was definitely worth it. Getting was the top 16 gets the fellowship one.
20.
Top 20. So all I had to do was win one round.
Yeah, but it was technically top 21 because
Scott
the
didn't.
Scott Porter team of him, Howard, and I can't remember the third. It was Oscar.
No, I thought it was that Manuel.
Yeah.
It was Manuel.
Yeah. That team obviously didn't need a fellowship one shot card. It's top 21 teams. By the time we so 4 rounds of Swiss happened, and then we're like, okay, we're gonna, we didn't make cuts, so we're gonna go back to our room now. It was what time? Like, I feel like it was past midnight, of course.
I think it was like 1 or 2.
Yeah, it was in between 1 and 2 a.m. So
because we had snow, there was like a lack of sleep. Man, I kept waking up early as fuck too, man.
So one, like, basically it was like say 2 a.m. when Top Cut started.
Yeah,
that is wild. Say Top Cut of this event is going to start at 2 a.m.
bro.
And keeping in mind the next day's event was supposed to start at 10. So you're like, your 8 hours of sleep is just dwindling away.
Yeah.
So there's an additional 3 rounds. Oh shit. I say oh shit because this guy almost ran into another guy on the highway.
Well, that would have been an interesting.
Yeah, that would fun.
And now the guy's speeding.
That was terrible.
Now the guy's speeding up because he don't want no.
He don't want no smoke.
Yeah, he don't want no smoke.
All right, but yeah. So by the time that event ended, it would have been at least 5 a.m.
I'm just making sure it wasn't on mute.
Oh my god! I told you to figure that out. I said make sure we're on speaker and make sure it's not on mute.
Yeah, we're on speaker, man. I would have laughed my ass off. You would have been fucking pissed.
We sound like mice when I hear this recording because we're not on speaker. I'm happy. I don't know, but like I said, by the time that event ended, it was at least 5 a.m. So congrats to the winners, which were who? Was that the?
I think that was fuck. Do I think that was? It should have been Party of the Scott Crampton. Oh yes.
Oh,
Scott.
Yes.
Scott Crampton, Lucas Van Hollen, and Ethan Jacob.
Was that the 3-peat post he made for that event? Okay. So you're right. Okay, so what I said before about that event being new or whatever, yeah, the duos event was new. They've always had the Tracy Brock Memorial event
on Thursday,
but it used to be on Thursday, so they pushed it to Wednesday. That's what the difference was. Again, hey, we never been there before, so forgive my ignorance. And Miguel's giving me info as he finds it. So
yeah,
I don't know, but again, but yeah, Crampton's team was also very strong. Crampton got one of basically the tankiest character in the set, which was the unique Hulk. It just took basically a ridiculous amount of attacks and damage to KO, unless you had, of course, Outwit.
Which how many characters had Outwit?
And there's only like 2 characters or something, or 2, maybe 3 characters in the entire set. Outwit. If you were saying, well, I just want to, hopefully I pull a character with Outwit with like low points, right? Just to kind of carry around. The lowest point character in that set, I think, was 109 points. So more than a third of your team. So, and I think that was the Mandarin. I think
it was Mandarin.
I don't know. But I know like Mandarin and Outwit, and I think maybe there was one other character that Outwit, which of course was more than that, more points than that somewhere. But virtually very little Outwit. So Scott Crampton, he pretty much was mopping the floor with everybody that did not have Outwit, except me, because I got insanely lucky 2 ways. One is that Scott Crampton, by using it, reminded me that we have charity props. And I said, oh, I should probably use those. And 2, by totally calling down on the dark forces to aid in my victory by summoning my very own cursed monkey paw to use to offer to Scott Crampton and say, hey, you have the opportunity to make a wish with this cursed monkey paw, and he did. By and I say that metaphorically in the sense of I was attacking his Hulk with I had a experienced Abomination. I believe my Abomination was on his first or second click. I can't remember exactly if both of them were the same, but either way, the point is Abomination was attacking his Hulk. His Hulk was mid dial. I had already hit him a couple times, but he wasn't getting to his quote unquote God clicks yet, where he gets much more strong as those old Hulk dials were designed, where he starts out pretty mid, and then you hit him a few times and he gets really, really good. And then you hit him a few more times and he gets kind of bad again, and then he eventually is KO'd. So I am just before those really good clicks, and I'm attacking him with Abomination, and I'm using a terrain marker to hit him with it, pushing to do it, of course. And we're going back and forth with these charity props, kind of where it's like I'm hitting, he's using a charity prop, and then I'm missing, and then I use one charity prop, and then I'm hitting, and we're going back and forth, and he has used 4 charity props by this time, and I roll a hit, and he's thinking about using his last charity prop, and he goes, I don't know if I should just take it. I'd be hitting him for 5 damage. He would reduce it by 2, so he would take 3, and he would get knocked back as well, and it's a huge part of the the equation is that he would basically have to take potentially another action just to walk back up to me. So he decides, he goes, you know what, fine. But he's vocalizing and saying, whether or not he should use that last prop. And we're talking about it. And I said, well, I mean, this is this attack is the highest damage attack that I'm ever going to do all game, all day is 5 damage. So why not prop it? And he's like, you know what? Fine. You convinced me. I'll use my last prop. And then I say, just in the spur of the moment, the monkey paw curls, and I re-roll it, and I get a critical hit. And he's like, God damn it! How did you know that that next roll was going to be a critical hit? So, because of that, I knocked him past all of his quote unquote God clicks, and I was able to wrap up the game from there. But it still wasn't completely over, of course, because the Hulk almost always has invulnerability or toughness or some reducer of some sort. So I did actually have to continue to make attacks during that game, but I was able to pull out the win, and I attributed to Scott giving me the critical hit. Thank you so much for using your last charity prop and spending $1 to lose the game. That was wonderful, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But of course, they went on to win the event. So congratulations to Scott and his team.
It looks like it was a good game. It was a good game.
Yeah. Like I said, that's a moment that I'll be remembering for I hope forever. Like I said, it was just so ironic that I said the monkey paw curls and rolled right into a crit. I'm like, yeah, it's like your wish is granted. I will re-roll that, but it's you're not gonna like the result. Yeah, I don't know if I have too many other comments about the rounds of the game. We already talked about how they were delayed. They took long. Miguel doesn't remember anything, so we can't ask him about any of his specific matchups or if any games that were fun to him or any characters that he played. Or any games that you played that you can speak on. Please think of something to say, Miguel.
Fuck, man. I mean, the only thing I remember is the fucking Iron Man you guys convinced me to use. Should have used the Thor. I knew I should have used the Thor. But
okay, right. No, and I 100% disagree because Outwit is a
well, I should have. You know what I should have done? I should have just played both Thor and the Iron Man.
Probably should have because they had really good reach.
Yep, that's what I should have done, but I didn't. So,
but explain to the people what Iron Man, what Thor. They don't know.
It's that the was it that that 3 the Captain America. That's like it's from Golden Age, dude. It's like
It was the Tab app
bobblehead figures. That's what it was.
Captain, Thor, and Iron Man. And what did they? What do you remember their points? What did they do?
I think Iron Man was 149 because it's less than Thor. I think Thor was 155, and the Captain America might have been like 107.
No, he was 90 something.
90 something? I thought it was 100.
I thought he was less. I think it was less than.
I don't know.
Look it up. Look it up. You got the phone. But either way, but yeah, what was good and or bad about those figures? Obviously, they are quote unquote overcosted, way overcosted.
Yeah, way overcosted.
But what did they do?
I think the Iron Man had like the only defense power that he gets was it was regen, willpower, and toughness. And then I think the Thor was more of it was a power action. You move, make an attack. I think it was make a range attack, which was basically it was just move, make an attack. So it was basically running shot.
It's running shot written out almost. It doesn't give you the option to use range as free, but he never will need to.
And then the Captain America, I think, should have been played because it was he gives ESD to lower point cost characters, so that would probably made a difference. And he had leadership.
That would have been really good, actually.
Yeah, I didn't think about it
because that's actually the only benefit to being overcosted is that everything else on your team could be maybe less points.
Yeah. And so then I think we had from the X-Men pack, it was the House of X. It was that Waldo, the Marvel Girl, and I think that was pretty much the only two figures I used from that.
You didn't use the Beast.
Oh, I did use the Beast. You're right. I did use the Beast. See, you know my team more than I would.
I'm just
because I can't remember things.
Trying to get you to remember.
See, my memory is bad. This is why this game is not not child friendly. But yeah, that was it. Because even like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we pulled ass on those. I think it was like Bebop and a hand. I think not a hand ninja. It was some unrelevant fucking guy that doesn't do anything. And I think that was pretty much it. I mean, there's not much. I had a TK, just a flex support, no prop, because that's charity props. But overall, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I'm not big on those goofy formats, dude. I just don't like that randomness of like, okay, you might get this, and it's everything random. You have to build, some, from crap, and it would have been nice. The Empire break, it would have been nice, like an Empire pack. I think would have been better. But yeah, I'm not big on that stuff. It would have been nice to say, hey, like how they did it for A and the C slot, like this is what you're gonna get. And then the B slot is like, instead of being random, this is what you're gonna get, and then you can at least have an option to do stuff. But yeah, I'm not big on stuff like that, the randomness of that. But that's basically it. There's not much. I'm not gonna obviously.
So there you had no games that you remember any from.
None of the games were impactful. None of the games were like. I mean, what do you want me to tell them? That I got smoked by fucking Vulcan, and then the other one had that Prime Vulcan? I mean, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. I don't think they want to hear that shit anyway.
Yeah, I collected that event pulled us way into the early hours of the next morning. The following day, separate. I'm just trying to think of comments about just the introduction to. I think the overall vibe that Scott Porter and the team brought to the event, I think, was fantastic. I think we may sound like we're complaining about more things than we're complimenting, I guess, in these episodes. But I do want to stress that the things that we're complaining about are easily solved. These aren't, and we talk about how to solve them maybe in a different episode, or maybe in the last one, or we can just have that be its own thing. I don't know. We'll figure out how to break up these episodes, either by day or by what. But I think the uh, the location. I guess we can talk about the location as just.
I like the location. I think it's pretty good. I think it's a very, very good location. I didn't know they had a pool until like 2 days ago. That's when I realized they have a fucking pool.
Yeah,
that would have been something like I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna go in the fucking pool. Fuck it. I got smoked and you go relax and shit.
Yeah, I have found more often than not the only way that I will ever get into the pool is if I just stay an extra day or arrive a day early. I it's like it's one of those things where like, okay, you can go to the pool or you play a BR, and then you end up playing a BR. And then after that, then you got to get something to eat or whatever. Then you go to bed or what? I don't know. It's almost like I've never had time at a extended weekend long Heroes event where I'm like, oh, you know what? Today I'm just gonna do like 2 BRs and then I'm gonna relax. It never ends up happening.
Oh fuck, man! I mean, the biggest thing for me was, man, oh man,
what's up?
People need to wear deodorant, bro. I swear to God.
Yeah,
the month is fucking real, bro. That's my bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking shower.
It's like, yeah, when we were talking about it, it's ironic that the shower immediately, like before going downstairs or what, I don't. But as I too, when comparing it to the CCO event in Florida, is that room had very high ceilings, so that ventilation had kind of pulled all the air up into the high ceilings, whereas the ceilings in this event room were lower, which means you got more of that stank.
Yeah, bro. Like there was times like in my mind, I'm like, dude, I want to tell this guy like, hey, bro, what you gotta do? You gotta fucking shower or something. I don't know. You need deodorant, bro? I got deodorant.
Yeah,
because I'm like, God damn, dude.
And put it right. I mean, we're not saying that we don't stink. That's the thing. And I will. Perfect example. I believe. I don't want to jump ahead, but I think it was Silver Duos.
Yeah.
Where after and then they had the break. It was that the day where I was like, I gotta go shower.
Yeah.
Because I was sweating. Like I was literally sweating. Because that was also the day that they didn't crank up the AC. Right.
Oh, fucking.
The next 2 days.
You cranked it up. Fucking.
Right.
Yeah.
But that day I was like sweating. That top cut. I was like, I am gonna go up to the room. And they're like, oh, you can break for quote unquote when it's like freaking 5 p.m. I was mentioned, but they're like, you can go take a break. And I'm like, I'm gonna go. I knew, like, I'm just gonna start smelling. So, I don't. Anybody else? Hey, that's an option. When you get a break, you do have time to run up to your room.
Well, you got people with their fucking bathrobes, dude. Like, I'm like, hey, bro, like, and you could tell. I'm like,
well, the bathrobe guys are doing that on purpose. That's their That's their costume. That's their costume.
The whole fucking week.
Yeah, that's their costume. That's the joke. He plays in his bathrobe. That's Adam Friedman,
I mean, they didn't know who it was, but it's a you kind of.
Everybody knows Adam Friedman plays in a bathrobe, and then he convinced his teammates in the team events to also wear bathrobes. We know that. That's not anyway. But yeah. So what else do we want to say about those? Like I said, but I think hotel very clean rooms. Very nice staff. Didn't have any problems. What else? I think the only mild complaint that we would have about we both had the Nashville hot chicken and it wasn't the best.
Oh my god, dude! Some of it's overpriced like a motherfucker.
Well,
too.
It's hotel food. Hotel food's always going to be overpriced. So,
and it was a small fucking piece of chicken too. I was like,
yes, it's overpriced, and the portion is small. 100% hotel food.
Because I'm like, okay, well, if it's a big piece, I'm like, I can eat half of it and then eat half of it later. But no, so I'm like, all right, well, fuck, small piece of chicken. I'm like, whatever.
It's hotel food, absolutely not worth it ever.
No,
There's the price, but I think the quality of the Nashville hot chicken is, to me, it's now Nashville. Nothing against you, but the only Nashville. Let's see, and it's also I think unfair to Nashville to say that we're judging Nashville hot chicken based on the Nashville hot chicken that we ordered from a hotel. I think most people would say you should probably go to a specific restaurant that specializes in that. But the style, the version of the Nashville hot chicken that we had was too bitter. It was unexpectedly bitter, and the heat level was, I don't say like it was always too spicy, but it was, for me, it was almost uncomfortably spicy.
I couldn't even eat it, dude. I was so pissed. I was so pissed.
It was too spicy for Miguel. Miguel was like, "Nope, we're not doing it."
And I'm like, you know what? I fucking paid for it. So like, when you went in the shower and shit, I'm like, well, if this is the time they're gonna call the ambulance, let me fucking do it now. As I fucking ate that shit, and I was like, bro, I'm walking in circles, walking back and forth. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna grab the nut butter, and that kind of cooled down for a little bit. And I was like, dude, I'm gonna fucking die, dude. Like, this was a mistake. I'm like, I'm just walking, dude.
I thought, I mean, this is not like to say that this would be like I'd be making funny for doing this. Like, I would have like just rinsed it off in the sink just to get the sauce off it, because the sauce, to me, like I said, the sauce was bitter and it was a little bit too spicy. It's just like not my thing, not my thing. So again, I think from a hotel standpoint, that was the only thing. I wouldn't recommend the Nashville hot chicken to someone
in a hotel
at the Cambria Nashville Airport Hotel if you aren't well versed in spice. You should be able to handle a good amount of spice.
Yeah, it is. It is fucking spicy,
and it's a bitter spice. I'm more of a guy who likes like the sweet chili spice.
Did it? I don't know about you, but did it taste fucking dry? Because to me, it tasted fucking dry.
The edges of it were surprisingly dry. Like the middle part of it was fine.
It was just like the edge of it was I feel like it was
hotel food. So like I said, I would recommend ordering something else. I can't vouch for anything else, but I would recommend ordering something else at the Cambria Nashville Airport Hotel other than the Nashville hot chicken. I think that's a good place to end this episode. We can we'll cut it off here, and then we will talk about day 2 and perhaps other things about the Heroes for Huntington's event in another episode.
All righty then. See you next time.